We know Kent State always goes on those challenging non-conference schedules, but this one's a little bit different than usual. What are your first thoughts when you look at Kent State's schedule?
Yeah, so I know our good friend Bobby from the TNT College Football Podcast had wanted me to talk about SEC football, talking about Kent State, South Carolina. Bobby, here I am. This one's for you. I really don't have much to say about it. I do think Kent State will be competitive with the way that they run the ball early on. But I think South Carolina will pull away. I mean, there really isn't that much to say. I don't think Kent State has beaten a power conference team since 2012 when they beat Rutgers after Gary Nova intercepted or threw 6 interceptions when Gary Nova had one of his bad days, despite how great he was. But really isn't much I can say about that one, Bobby, unfortunately. But like Akron, their rival, there is a razor thin margin for error, especially because they play USF in the rare all group of five paycheck game where USF is not having to make a return trip to Kent, Ohio for that game. And USF should be good. I'm excited for what Brian Hartline's going to do there. I think that's probably one of the best pairings, coach pairings in this coaching carousel that we had. But just looking at the schedule, like I think Kent State's going to be a thorn in a lot of team sides this year. I think Mark Carney is doing great. I feel like he was so close to figuring out the recipe to winning at Kent State. I won't say it's at the levels it was with Sean Lewis, but getting Ohio at home is huge. Getting the wagon wheel game at home is also huge. Traveling to Sacramento State isn't great, but the fact that they have a bye week after that and then are playing Bowling Green, the anniversary award can get spicy. And then for good measure, having Miami of Ohio at home as well. I mean, it doesn't hurt. So like I don't think Kent State will make a bowl just because the margin that's needed for them to succeed and reach six wins. But I think that we could have a Ball State Ohio type game where that upset happens, or even a Bowling Green Toledo game. Like I think Kent State is due for an upset in one of these games. So this is an interesting schedule as always.
Yeah, yeah, it's definitely a tough one. Like they did not get the most favorable draw on this for sure. You get really like Akron and Sacramento State. Those two games back to back are probably the easiest stretch they have, and even then, like that is your most intense rivalry, and then you immediately go and play in California 6 days later. That's going to be really difficult. And then, of course, you got the non-conference game against South Carolina. I'll mention that just for Bobby's sake as well. Um, again, like I mean, it would be cool if they put up a fight there, but it might be difficult for them to do that. And then, I mean, we'll even see what they do against Ohio State because last year when Kent State played Oklahoma close to the conference play, like they actually made their quarterback a healthy scratch for that game to preserve him for conference play. So you wonder if they might do that against Ohio State as well. The USF game is an interesting one because it kind of came about because Kent State and Kentucky like scheduled a game. And it was scheduled for like a week, and the SEC went to 9 conference games, which waved the game off the calendar. So that's kind of how that one came about. But yeah, yeah, it'll definitely be. I don't like that they have to go on the road to Sacramento State. I think Sacramento State is going to be able, where Sacramento State makes their year one impact, is going to be picking off teams at home. So that's where Kent State really has to watch out. But overall, like you said, I think they can definitely be the thorn in the side of some of these teams. But it's going to. They were so close to a bowl last year. Like I want to say they can take that next step to get there, but the schedule does not make it easy.